This is Wes S. This is VR to a VR from Uncle Al. Uncle Al VR'd me about some stuff that was said in the live stream. Yes, Uncle Al, winter wheat. You put it in the ground, you let it grow. That's the one. Okay. Let's go over the winter wheat thing and the acre. It's not whether or not you can or not, it's whether or not you have to. On that part of it. In Kansas, where they grow wheat, you get about 50 bushels an acre. Okay. How much wheat is a bushel? Let's roll down here, and I'm going to read the whole thing. I'll type in the URL or whatever, maybe at the bottom of this video. 1 bushel of wheat will yield approximately 42 pounds of white flour. That means that blah 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 14 billion pounds of white flour for Kansas. I mean, they made a crap ton of wheat. But doing the math, so 1 acre of wheat producing 50 bushels in a year, that's assuming you make 50 bushels of wheat. That's a good crop. And that's 1 crop a season. It's about what you're going to be able to do. Could sustain 2,250 people for 1 day. Or 6.2, we're going to drop the 0.2, about 6 people for a year. If you assume a lower caloric requirement or higher output per loaf of bread, you might be able to sustain 10 people on an acre of wheat. Remember, whenever they do this math, they do it on that 3,000 calories a day, and they're sustaining, you know, the people that are starving to death, big bloated belly because all they get in the wheat. Those people, okay? Now, a man, his wife, and their 3 kids. That's 5 people. And this, hold on, where was it? It said how many. So, takes 2 loaves. Two loaves to feed 1 person each day. So they can only get you 2 loaves of bread with each loaf. Yeah, they're figuring this on 2,000 calories per day. And you had to find it. 2,000 calories a day. You're going to starve to death in SHTF at 2,000 calories a day. Okay? You can't figure SHTF in today's standards. There we go. Okay, we're done with the wheat. The nunchucks thing, that was a joke. Okay. Okay. And all I said was that I don't own a scythe. I didn't say I didn't know how to do it. Okay. We actually have a weed whacker with an attachment on it that cuts and lays down the wheat or the oats or whatever. They sell them at Tractor Supply. They're kind of cool. You don't have to work yourself to death. You just go back and forth, and the hay just lays over. They're wicked cool. Yeah, that's this was on QUORA.com. It's how many people does an acre of wheat feed? Peace. I love you, Uncle Al. You were rude. Sorghum and Milo, they're 2 different plants. Very similar. The grains are basically the same, we could get nitpicky, but we're not going to. Sorghum makes a lot of stalk. Sorghum is excellent fodder. The only problem is you have to wait for the heads to mature before you can harvest the heads for the grains. And then you lose some of the sugars in the stalk. To make molasses, you harvest the sorghum while it's still green, while it's still running sap. Okay? They grow sorghum around me every year. Every year. Milo, the little short, which is just, different kind of whatever. There's not as much sugar in the stalk. There is some. You can, and after they harvest the grain tops, they will come in and they will harvest the silage. They'll cut the stalks, and they will grind that up. They will actually ferment it, allow the sugars to cook down, and then they will feed that to the cattle, the dairy cows, and cattle or they'll put it in feed pellets for the cattle. Now on the wheat straw. Wheat straw is not the best hay on the planet. But if you are going to put all the effort into harvesting the wheat, getting the wheat tops or the grains off of the wheat straw, why not feed it to the cattle? They can't survive on that alone, but that way you can feed them, you can supplement their feed with the good stuff and keep their bellies full with the deal. There's several .coms out there for the ag and stuff that they're actually running into a problem now because people are buying so much of the wheat straw hay, the straw, to supplement the cattle feed, that they're running low on organic material in the soil. They're not, ordinarily they would take the wheat heads, they would leave the straw, and it would go back into the field. You can replace up to 25% of your livestock's, and this is for, we're trying to put weight on them and get them to market right now. Put a weight on them, get them to market right now. This is in modern day science. This is for optimal agricultural productivity. You can supplement up to 25% of their feed with wheat straw. Wheat straw is not the best hay in the world, but it is straw that you've already done the man hours on, that you can store and give your animals something to chew on in the wintertime. Okay? It's better than nothing. I never said it was the food to go to. I said it gave you some silage for your animals. Or some fodder, rather, I believe is what I said. Sorry about that. Corn will not grow on my land. I've tried. I've tried for 6 years. Got 1 ear of corn in 6 years. And it was a pathetic ear of corn. The flint corn will grow easier. The Indian corn, the non-GMO stuff or whatever, basically popcorn, does grow better. Does grow easier in a lot of places. It doesn't take as much nitrogen and stuff as wheat does. Wheat grows really easy around here. But it tastes like crap. It doesn't have the sugar or whatever. It doesn't have the sugar content. It's not even half as palatable as sweet corn or whatever. It does store better, and it is a better SHTF crop. So I'll give you that one. But here, if I try to grow corn, I'm going to starve to death. If you do get the corn, even the guys around here that have a little bit better dirt than me, that can get their corn up in the garden, they get about 2 to 3 ears of corn per stalk. That's too much work. It's too much water, that's too much work, that's too much tillage for no more than that. When on the same patch of ground, I can get twice that much in wheat or oats. Didn't have a problem with growing oats. Don't know where that come from. I believe I mentioned that I can grow oats here. The only problem I have with my oats right now is that the fact that the goats found my oat patch and they think it's delicious. I now have the goats put up to give my oats a chance to come ahead. Never said I wasn't growing oats. Never. Not at one time. And if you show up at my little farm with a shotgun, but then I have to twabble, okay? We're gonna have a lot of trouble. Make sure the safety's off, okay? Did I mention the nunchucks was a joke? My mother made me learn how to thrash wheat by hand. She made me learn how to milk a cow. She made me learn how to churn butter. My live stream was to tell people that they need to practice this stuff. Not that I know everything. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there was several times in there that I let it be known that I was failing miserably at some of this. Can't grow corn. What do we got? One mess of green beans out of the garden last year? That was it. Now, we ate some squash. We ate some potatoes. Eating sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes did good, but the okra did good. Tomatoes. Holy cow, if the frost hadn't got us, we'd still be eating tomatoes. But I'm not here to tell people how to run their business. I'm not here to tell people how to do all this stuff. I'm not an expert on wheat farming, especially not primitive wheat farming. I'm here to tell people that if you don't get up there and start trying this stuff, you're gonna die a slow, miserable death in SHTF. You're gonna starve to death, or you're gonna have to eat somebody else's babies. We don't want either one of those, do we? Anyway, did I mention the nunchucks was a joke? Yeah, why would you try to grow any of that other stuff? It's easy. You put it here. You put it in the ground. What? August, September, somewhere around in there, and you walk away. Yeah, you just let it go. And somewhere, early summer or whatever, there's grass sticking up out of the ground with wheat tops on it, 2, 3.5 inches tall. And that's the deal. Here, we don't get these 5 and 6 inch long wheat heads with all these big old giant grains of wheat on it. We get these little bitty short things. Sometimes they're 1.5 inches, sometimes they're 2 inches. And that's all the wheat we get. And it ain't that we're planting the wrong kind. It's a water issue. We don't get that much rain here. We don't irrigate wheat here. It's on its own. That's the reason there's so much milo and sorghum planted here, is because it's it's heat and drought resistant. It can take a dry spell without dying. I just broke my pencil. Yeah. There we go. You like my hat? I did this for you. I love you, Uncle Al. But, yeah. Play nice. Let's play nice, okay? There's no sense in all that other stuff. Now, I've got to let y'all go because my Swedish girlfriend and something else, Danish. My Swedish and Danish girlfriends are in the bedroom, and they're talking to my wife, and I don't want them to find out all the secrets in my world. Gotta get back in there and handle my business. I don't want to get all embarrassed and stuff. Alright? God bless y'all. Y'all still alive, don't die. I really don't try to talk out my ass, okay? Love y'all.